Hey, what's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MA76B-Ball. I'm back with the final performance review of the LeBron 12 Elite. And before I get into things, I just want to say thank you very much for those of you who have subscribed to my channel and left comments and opened up dialogue about the kicks. So yeah, just a great shout out to you guys. So again, with this performance review, it's the same measuring stick. It was 16 hours of use. Again, that was 6 hours on a pristine indoor court, 4 hours on a dusty court, and another 6 hours outdoors. So let me give you a little bit of a prologue about the traction. When I dropped by the Nike outlet shop and I found the two pairs, the KD7 Elite and the LeBron 12 Elite, I grabbed them, sat down on the bench, pulled them out of the box, and the cool thing was when I ran my hand along the outsoles, the KD7 was much stickier there in the store. So I was pretty pumped about that because it makes it kind of intriguing to compare the two shoes. But anyways, as this is a LeBron 12 Elite review, let's get into that with a little bit more detail.
So you can see we've got a translucent icy blue outsole, and the compound of the rubber, it's not anything soft or hard, it's just in the middle of things. But it definitely did its job on pristine courts, not too bad on dusty courts, and it was fine on outdoor courts. So anyways, looking at the actual traction pattern, it's very unconventional. If you look at the design on top of the actual Zoom bag, you have lines going up and down, left and right, and diagonally as well. So even though it's not the usual type of thing that you see, it does end up giving you traction in all sorts of directions. So whether you're moving left and right, front and back, it definitely had you covered. Now to the compound of the rubber, it was definitely a very squeaky, on-point rubber. You can stop on a dime on pristine courts, so no issues there. On the dusty courts, I had to wipe probably every 1 or 2 or 3 plays. You could see some of the footage in my first on court for this shoe. You could see that I was slipping around a little bit. And on the outdoor courts, it was absolutely fine, not a problem. It wasn't squeaking or anything like that, but there was no slippage whatsoever. Just a word to the wise, like most shoes these days, if you play with the LeBron 12 or the Elite version outdoors, you probably get a good 2 to 3 weeks, just like the KD7, before you start noticing the rubber starts to wear out. So yeah, just bear that in mind when you're making your purchase.
Alright, up next, let's talk about the cushioning in the shoe, and in particular, let's talk about the cushioning in the forefoot. So in the LeBron 12 Elite, you have 5 Zoom bags in these hexagon type shapes. And I could tell you, I'm only 139 pounds, and I believe LeBron's about, I don't know what he is, 260 or so. I don't know if anyone out there could really say that they feel a lot of cushioning or, shock reduction or impact protection with these Zoom bags. The nice thing about the shapes, it does allow for a lot of flexibility in the forefoot, and what really it exceeded in was court feel. But yeah, I remember playing several days, especially on an outdoor court. My forefoot was a little bit tender, a little bit sore the following morning. So it kind of makes you wonder, with a big guy like LeBron, I don't know what Nike was going for there. But anyways, that's pretty much the breakdown on the forefoot. It's great for responsiveness, it's great for court feel and exploding because it's quite a direct feel with the court. But as far as a nice plush cushion ride, not so much the case. Now in contrast to the Zoom bags up front, the large Zoom bag in the heel, now that, I believe that's what a Zoom is supposed to be. It does a great job of reducing the shock, and you can feel a little bit of a bounce. But for myself, I'm more of a point guard, shooting guard, so I am on the balls of my foot a little bit more, so it wasn't too much of a big deal. However, when I was sprinting up and down the court in full stride, yeah, it was pretty good for heel strike. But there are moments where if it was a really long stride, I would strike right about here, and that was like just like a big thunk, because you are missing the zoom bag there. Not until you hit about here, you roll into the zoom bag. So with that being said, in combination, I think the cushioning could have been improved a little bit more, and that sounds funny coming from me because I'm light as a feather. So if any of you out there are heavier type players, you want to leave a comment. How did you feel about the cushioning? Let me know. Alright, next on the menu, let's talk about fit. Lengthwise, I believe it's true to size. Now, in terms of volume, the fit inside the shoe, the width-wise, well, that's a little bit of a different story. I've said before, I have a pretty skinny foot and low volume type of foot. The first time I tried them, maybe the first 2 to 3 times that I used them, I just had a regular Nike Elite sock on, and the fit was kind of sloppy. I've had 5 of the regular 12s in the past, and then once the materials broke in, I was able to lace it up and the shoes fit great. Now this one, you can see has like off-centered lacing, asymmetrical lacing maybe, and I couldn't quite get this one to hug to my foot like previous models. So what I did, I used my Nike Elite sock in combination with a very, very, very thin jogging Nike Dry Fit sock. And that was just like the magic combination. So probably from hours, I don't know, about 8 on, I had like the perfect fit, and I was much happier with that. So anyways, any players out there with a larger volume foot, a wider foot, probably love the fit of the LeBron 12 Elite. And if you have a skinnier foot, you might want to, I don't know, maybe half size down, or a combination of double socking. But definitely you're gonna have to go to your outlets or find the shoes on clearance and make sure you try them on. So now let's get into support. There is a ton of support in this shoe, obviously, because LeBron's a beast. So first of all, you have the plastic sidewalls here. They're coming up from the rear of the ankle all the way up the collar, of course on lateral and medial side as well. And once you have that shoe wrapped up, laced up properly, you feel it's kind of like you're riding in a plush, luxurious tank. A lot of support. I felt secure and confident in any move, in any situation, but not to the point that it was like a burden to wear them. They were still responsible. They're still, did I say responsible? They were still responsive. They moved with your foot. Once I figured out the sock combo, it was a one-to-one fit. So there is a lot of support, lateral movements. Big men obviously are going to love this shoe. So for your guards, there are probably better models out there to suit your style of play, is what I was trying to say. The plastic walls here that run up to the ankle do wrap around and act as a heel counter as well. The funny thing with this shoe, because these zoom bags protrude out when you're standing or even walking, the shoe feels quite a bit, a little bit wobbly somewhat in the heel area. However, when you're playing at a basketball pace and you're right into the mix of the game, it is not a factor. It does compress, and there's no worries there. So, despite being a very small guy myself, I really enjoyed playing in this shoe. When compared to the KD7, probably the biggest difference was, court feel in the forefoot. I guess for some it's going to be a major plus. He ends up getting a lot of reaction, a lot of response, or like snap in the shoe. But on the downside, I had a little bit of a sore foot the following morning. Whereas the KD7 had that large, well, I don't know if it was large, but a rectangular zoom bag, and that was plush all night long, and there was no soreness or tenderness the following morning. Another, I guess, the downfall maybe for my foot, again, that off-centered lacing, I couldn't quite get it, you know, tight. I was satisfied with the fit. I double socked, and but the off-centered lacing was a little bit awkward for me. Anyways, guys, I've got to get out of here. It's time to hit the sack. Hope you enjoyed the review. If you watched this review and the KD7 review, let me know which one you preferred. I didn't show my face so much in this one. It's nighttime here. I don't have any daylight, so I didn't want to really be on camera too much. But yeah, I showed the shoes a lot in this one and close up in details, and you know, I was showing my face a lot in the KD7. If you got an opinion, let me know. Regardless, guys, thank you so much for dropping by again. I have 2 more videos in the works, and that would be, I don't know, probably another 2-3 weeks until I get through all of that. So take care, everyone. Be safe, be good. If you're out there balling, practice hard, stay focused. Peace.